to the inevitable return to butter. I am your host, Critical, and my co-host,
Squeezy Butter.
Well, our topic today is about Juneteenth festival celebration. We did a part one where we discussed a little bit about it, making history and things of that nature, and how we came about putting it together. And we also promised you all that we was going to get a hold to the lady who hosted the second one and get a little bit of information about how that was and what's going on with her, as well as what we're planning for the third. And it's always stated that the third time is a charm. 1, 2, 3. 3 is a good number. So let me, without further ado, introduce this young lady. Her name is Miss Ashely Harris. What I know about her, she's a school teacher at the Wynn High School, and she's a member of the Order of Eastern Star. She also has a youth organization that she spearheaded at the high school, as well as she participated in the first Juneteenth festival in Wynn, Arkansas. She assisted us in making history. So, with that little introduction, I'll let her give a little bit more about herself. Ms. Harris.
Hello, my name is Ashely Harris, and I am from Wynn, Arkansas, born and raised. I have been employed by the Wynn Public School System for 17 years, and there I am a special ed paraprofessional. I also sponsor one of our extracurricular clubs at the school, and that is the African American Achievers that I founded and helped on when I was myself.
Okay, that's great. You know, I noticed something too. I saw in the newspaper as well as on social media, the African American Achievers. You guys had a young guy from Earl. I used to live in Earl, and this young guy, he was participating in your program. And what is that?
His name is Jalen Smith. He's the mayor of Earl, Arkansas now, and he is the third and youngest African American mayor in history. And so we came in contact with him through one of our former members that was from Earl as well, and he's been so helpful to us, and we've helped trying to get out as well, because he has so many obstacles that he's going through, and he was willing to come, and we were able to honor him with a gift and an award to just show our support for him. He is around here doing some very dynamic things.
That's awesome.
That's cool. I know that's a good achievement to become mayor at such a young age.
Yes, he's 18. He is 18.
18 year old mayor?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we need to talk to him too.
That's what I'm talking about.
18 years old. That's historical.
Right. And he's been to the White House. He was on the Jennifer Hudson show. He was a part of our Black History program, and he's going around doing some good things.
Oh wow.
That's cool. Because, you know, I knew the mayor before him. As a matter of fact, I did a lot of work for him as far as doing his campaign and other functions that he had. I DJ'd, it was gospel. Have you ever heard of a gospel DJ? But I was a gospel DJ with him at several of his events as well as his anniversaries. That was the mayor before him. That was Elder Sherman Smith. It seems like the Smith run Arkansas, that area. So many Smiths, because, you know, I was working with Freddie Smith, Dr. Smith.
Sandy Smith, that's who I work with, Dr. Sandy Smith. Yeah. And and John Smith, yeah.
Smith? I mean, the Smiths just run in Arkansas, man, that area in particular.
Shout out to the Smiths.
John G. Smith. Yes. That's the one who he's in control of the park in the rec center over at the park. I believe that's where the Juneteenth festival is going to be hosted at this year. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It will be at the EU Deshay Park here in Wynn, 500 G Street.
What's the name of it again?
EU Deshay
EU Deshay. Okay, great. Let me ask you something, Ashely. It's all right to call you Ashely, right?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, but sometimes, I use formal Miss Harris or Mrs. Harris, because it is. But Ashely, what was it like for you to participate in the first one?
The first one, my club, we did a vendor booth, and it was amazing. It was a really good experience, and it was a lot of people that was able to come out, and it's just something that really touched me at that time anyway, considering that I sponsored the club and we lacked so much education about that subject, and to just be able to experience it firsthand, it was really something special.
That's great. Yeah, I like to hear that because I am very passionate about it. That's the reason why it was put up on my heart to go and inquire if we could do it. And just so happens, how energy works and how things work. It was on a national holiday that particular year. And that it just blew me up, and I was in I didn't make no money or nothing like that. It wasn't about making money for me. It was about being able to make history, being able to share with the people some of our history and some of the steps we need to take in order to move forward. Right. Because we brought how many? It was approximately 30 different vendors there. And some of the vendors had never done that before. They had expressed to me. And that was pretty good, I thought.
It was awesome turnout.
And Guido, my co-host, is the president of our organization, which is Building Unity to Teach Another, Butter, who sponsored it the first time. And he came from St. Louis, spoke and hosted, and he performed. Him and his partner, they performed a couple of songs and everything, and I thought it was great. Now, the second one, I wasn't able to make it. We didn't know anything about it. Tell me something. How did you end up picking up and participating in doing the second?
Well, I had someone come by and ask me if I would help them to get the second one going, and during that time he and I lost contact with each other, and so I didn't want to not do anything, so I just used the skills that I have and the people that I know, and we put something together at a short notice, and it was very powerful. We were able to educate. I had a good speaker. Her name was Miss Kim Powell. She came and talked to us about her journey through life and how things have been for her. She wrote a book, and she talked about her book. We had people reading poems, singing songs, and we had a few vendors as well. And so just for me, just being just that first experience, I think I did pretty well. We had a good little turnout, and everybody that came, they really enjoyed themselves, and they as well learned some things.
That's great. Did you get any type of video footage or anything of the second one?
I had some people recording like the talent and things that were going on, but it was just like on my Facebook page. So okay. I have to, and it's some people that did then, but I didn't like just record the entire thing. No.
Yeah, I understand. But I just would like, sometime in the near future to get any type of little clips or what have you from it, because we also, in adjacent to this podcast, we do the video cast as well, and we use visuals with that.
Okay.
We post up certain people who participated, their photos, their businesses, etc., so people will know who they are. Because oftentimes you hear about stuff, but you don't really know who they are. It's like we didn't know who Cross was, who Wynn was, Captain Wynn, Colonel Cross, and all these different people who the town was named after. We didn't know any of that history. I didn't even know it when we did the first Juneteenth. The only thing I know is that I learned about the Juneteenth back in '87. I performed as a rapper in Berkeley, Oakland, California. And when they said the Juneteenth, you want to be booked for the Juneteenth? I'm like, what is the Juneteenth? First off, I want to be booked, but what is the Juneteenth? So I had to learn what it was. And ever since then, it stuck with me. And it was a blessing to be able to do this again, and I'm looking forward to us doing the third. The third one is a charm. Could you give me some of the activities that we are anticipating for the third?
Okay, we have a weekend full of activities. We will start that Friday night at the Odell McCallum Center with On Time Ministries Incorporated. They are coming to do a call for deliverance crusade, and they're going to they'll get started around 6:30, and they're going to have different speakers, praise, worship, and everything that Friday night. Then on Saturday morning, our Juneteenth celebration, will start with a parade. And the parade will start at 10 o'clock at 11 o'clock that morning. We'll do a lineup around maybe 9:30 or 10 o'clock that morning. And we're going to do a parade down Martin Luther King Drive all the way around the 4th Ward, and it will end up at the EU Deshay Park for the festivities.
Yes.
We will have vendors. We'll have a talent show. On Time Ministries, they will be there as well to help out and to call for worship and call people. And we'll have someone there to tell us about the history. We'll have vendors, games, foods for the children. And this year we are also trying to incorporate a basketball tournament for our youth. And that will start around 8 o'clock that morning, and it will go on until they finish, just depending on how many we have that will sign up. And they're going to do a tournament, and we'll be able to announce the winner before the festival is over.
All right.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, after the parade, is there going to be a party or anything later on that night?
Not that I know of that we haven't planned yet, but the parade, the celebration will start at 12. So we're hoping that once the parade gets started, we'll be pulling up at that time, and everyone that's involved in the parade can come straight into the celebration, and we'll start that around 12. And that we're going to go on with that till around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Just however much time the on time ministries need, because they're going to pick up our program and to do what they come to do.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm excited about it.
What's the last thing you said? What's the last thing she said?
The ministries. What's the name, Ashely, again?
On Time Ministries Incorporated. They're from North Carolina.
From North
coming down that way. They'll be here that Friday evening to start their revival, and then they will join us on Saturday for the celebration.
Great, that sounds great. All the way from North Carolina. Well, that's where my granddad is from.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that's part of the first. The first colonies, isn't it? The first 13 colonies of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, North Carolina was one of my, if I'm not mistaken. It was 13, but now they're only showing like 9 of them in the dictionary or the encyclopedia. I don't know why, but it was 13 of them. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good what's going on, Ashely, that you picked up the torch and the story that you're telling, you picked it up, and from whoever the first person was that picked it up after us, and then you picked it up and ran with this torch, and now the way that it sounds to me it got more powerful, and it's just awesome. It sounds really good, and I'm glad you got all of these people who are willing to give their time and work towards the goals and all of that stuff. It sounds very exciting. I want to give you props for that, putting it together and doing this thing, and picking up that torch and running with it, to the finish line, because everybody can see the vision, and this is just not a vision. It's importance. It's a lot of importance in this the Juneteenth celebration theme. So yeah, congratulations on that as well.
Yes, I salute you, Will, because the very first one, we wanted to have a parade. However, I didn't have enough time. It was down to the last minute, and we couldn't come up with the money had a marching band lined up and everything.
Oh, okay. I reached out to my other sponsors, Dr. Sandra Smith and Miss Sabrina Parker, and the parade is going to be a project that we allow the African American Achievers to take on. So they're going to get this together, and that's what they're going to do for the parade. And I also want to mention the Minister Alliance here in Wynn, with the leadership of Pastor Freddie Smith. They were the ones who reached out to ask if they could incorporate with us, because our things are going on at the same time, but we just want to figure out a way that we can benefit everybody. And so we had a meeting, and we just decided that this is the way we're going to go with it.
Man,
I'm pleased with that.
I'm glad you did with him. That's my friend there. I really admire that man, because he does a lot of work there in Wynn for the people. And when I met him, he just rolled out the red carpet for me and to do whatever I needed to do to make a difference. Yes.
Yeah, he is.
We shout out to him, as well as John G. John G. always like me when I go up to the park. You know, he's always out there working with the youth. And he really cares about them guys around, and that's what I like about him. He generally care about them guys and about their well-being. Now, one more thing before we try to wrap this up. Do we have a wish list?
A wish list? Well, our wish list is for talent. I want anybody with any talent that they would like to showcase. I'm in need of vendors. I'm in need of donations for food for our youth. What I like to do, we have vendors that will come out and sell food, but I know I'm trying to target our youth, and I don't want the issue of not having any money for them to not come. So I would like to provide like food for our young people, and you know, us adults, we can fend for ourselves, but I want to be able to provide food for them and water all day long so they can stay hydrated, water for our basketball players, just anything that any donations that anyone would like to donate to the cause, and what I plan to do for the future, anything that I have left over from this year, I would like to open an account so that if there are people that I would need to book they require a fee, I will have money that I established so that I'm able to take care of needs such as that. So I'm hoping that after this year, I will be able to open a fund for the Juneteenth, and that way we'll be able to take care of more things that we need to take care of.
Yes. Okay. Now, let me ask you. Excuse me, Guido. Before you go, let me ask you, before we get out of here, some contact information so that we will know where to direct all donations, and whether it be funds, in-kind donations, or whatever, because the first one, they treated us well. We had donations. We had free hot dogs and stuff for the children. We had candy. We had all that. And this was donated to us by places such as the H&R Block, Dollar General, various different people, churches and stuff. They just gave us the stuff for the children. And that was a blessing. So if we can get some contact information where people can get the stuff to, and that way we can direct it all that way.
Okay, well, I can give you my number. My number is 870-208-3974. And I also have an assistant. Her name is Veronica Lyons, and she's willing to take phone calls as well. Her number is 870-318-8782. You also can reach me by email, AshelyHarris400@gmail. And like I said, I work for Wynn School, so if anything else, just stop by Wynn Hospital. They'll let you know how to find me.
And so Veronica is your sister. That's great. I know
Veronica. She is. We've been best friends for years.
Yeah, she's a good woman, and she's very good at working on projects and coming through.
And she was the one who just pushed me, because at first I was like, well, I'm not going to have any help. She was like, no, you're going to do this. This is for you. She's like, I just have this feeling that this is what you need to do, and this is your calling, and you're good at this. She's like, and I want you to do this, and I'll help you in any way. And when she said that, she has been right there. She has always been with me, and she's always backed me up. Any help that I've needed, she's always been there. So I'm very grateful to have her as well.
Shout out to Veronica, because she sure is. Yeah, and hopefully I'll get a chance to see everybody soon when I get there. We'll discuss a little later how we can participate in it, because we'll look at.
Y'all are more than welcome to do whatever you like to do.
Well, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for allowing us to participate in the third one. And the torch has been passed because you were handling it. And I have to say that.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate a strong black woman picking it up and doing what you got to do, and you know, believing in the dream and believing in the knowledge and sharing it, and you know, trying to get the people together, because that's what it's about. You know, we need to save more people and put more knowledge into the brains. You know, we appreciate it.
Right.
You know, keep doing it. Keep
It's
balling
gonna
out
be
with
great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It sounds like it's gonna be good, and we're gonna make sure we get information over there and do what we can, sharing out the information. Any logos, anything like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got the marketing promotion team and all of that stuff, so we do all the marketing and all of that. So for businesses, we create t-shirts, we do everything in-house, and so you need us for any of that type of stuff, you just gotta let us know ahead of time. But if you got all that, that's fine too. But yeah, that's
well, I'll probably be in touch. I appreciate that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say before we get ready?
I'm just looking for a big turnout. Great things to happen, to come get educated. Because like I said last year, they didn't know, but we do know. So since we know our history, it's time for us to embrace it, and it's time for us to live it, and it's time for us to be it, and it's time for us to overcome it. I'm not asking us to dwell in what happened, but it's important that we know about it, and it's important that we educate our children about it, and that's my big thing as well. I have 2 daughters, and I always have talked to them about things like this, but being able to put them out there for that experience is something that money can't buy. So I'm just glad to be able to help not only my children, but others as well.
That's great.
Sounds good. We appreciate
you.
And I thank y'all for having me too.
Yeah, we appreciate you over here, and that return. It's great to have you on here, and I just had to listen to you. You know, I didn't want to over talk you, and I just wanted to listen. So this is good. So yeah, shout out to you and your team. Like I said, and keep praying and having the faith and having emotion with the faith, you know.
Yes, that's the key there. Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's it. That's all for me. What you got?
That's all for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, the inevitable return to butter. Thank you, and see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Inevitable return to
butter.